asking for it time after time. Won't let you waste it. This your moment, don't give up. Give it all you got. Step away from in crowd. No dream is too far. Yeah, yeah. It's time to face the music. Facing it. You just gotta face the music. You just gotta give up on yourself. Don't worry about no one else. Face it. It's time to face it. Facing the music will help you get through it.
Alright, what's up? I hope I didn't get that on camera. That is so embarrassing. Alright, y'all, I'm at work. Alright, so let me just put that out there. I had to get it in how I could, but let's get into it, okay? You know I told y'all December is the month of what? Somebody said. Anybody? Yeah, you. Release, period. We releasing all December because we're trying to be made new. And when? Where? What year? 2021, January the 1st. We are trying to be made new. And in order to be new, you got to do what? Out with the old, in with the new. Okay, so we're gonna release regret tonight when this video is posted. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, by the way. All right, so release the regret. We all have regret in common. That's one thing we have in common, because sometimes we regret things we didn't do, things we did, things we didn't say, things we said, opportunities we didn't take, opportunities we did take. We have regrets, okay? But regret is only unhealthy when you let it stack up and it builds up and it turns into self-hate. What you got to realize, you are forgiven. God has forgiven you. First of all, you are imperfect, and he knows that. You just got to forgive yourself, because period. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's go. I'm going to say this. Like, you know, a lot of people feel like, you know, regret cannot be unhealthy. But yeah, it is. I'm going to tell you how. There's nothing wrong with being remorseful. That's you're human. You know, when you do wrong and you feel bad, that's okay. Being remorseful, the word remorse is in the same realm as conscious. When you are in alignment with God, you have a relationship with and strong foundation in God. When you do wrong, it sits on your mind and inside of your heart until you go to God in repentance, right? See, the thing is, we were created imperfect. God knew that we would mess up. He sent his only begotten son to die for our sins. So he knows that we're going to fall short. We're going to mess up. He don't have a problem with forgiving us. The problem is we don't forgive ourselves. And eventually, it turns into self-hate. I tell people this all the time. A visible enemy ain't got nothing on yourself. We are our biggest enemy. Like, in reality, in real life, you're your biggest enemy. And I say that because in order for you to really, really destroy me, you have to get in my head, because I have a strong mind. So can't nobody get in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what you say or what you do to get in here. Now, you can get in my heart. You probably get in my heart faster than you get in my head. But, you know, to get in here, you have to put in more than overtime, for real. But I stay in my own head. And that's why I say I'm my biggest enemy. I'm like, if anything was to discourage me, it would be myself. If anything was to knock me off course or stunt my motivation, elevation, it would be me. Can't nobody else do that. Can't nobody else do that. I'm telling you, can't nobody else do it but myself. I got a real question. I want a real answer. How many hours of the day do you use spending time in your own business or worrying about self? How many? If it's anything less than 24, then you know something wrong with that. Because this is the thing, y'all. We spend so much of our energy and our time gossiping. We spend so much time worrying about other people's business. And we're not even looking at the fact that, dang, man, all this time that I'm using, you know, worrying about them and their business, I could be using this to fix my own problems, because I have problems too. Yeah, and I'm no better than them. So why am I sitting here using all of my energy while they're fixing their lives? They getting themselves together, and I want to use my energy just to talk about them. Oh yeah, I handle my stuff later. I know I got issues, but that ain't important. I want to talk about them. That's y'all everyday life, and it's sad. Grow up. Stop. Accountability. Break the cycle. Change, release now. Personal battle with letting go. Letting go was the war for me in 2020. That was my biggest war. I have a problem with letting money go. I don't like to spend my money. 2, food. I don't like sharing food. I'm just playing, y'all. But I had a problem with letting people go, things go, situations go, ideas go, feelings go, I'm talking about trauma go, toxic behaviors, you know, whatever. My money too, though. I really meant that. I don't like spending money, but you know, I had to get out of that mind frame, and I'm gonna tell you, it almost won. I almost got my butt kicked this year, y'all, because letting go, I just want to hold on and lock it up and no. But the thing is, I had to understand that when things exit does not equal the end. So when things leave, think about it like this. God is about to send me something new. Out with the old, in with the new, because period. Renewal. When you look at life in a mental way and you realize that everything that goes on in my life is mental. This is a mental warfare. This is a mental battle, okay? All right? So everything seems much better because then you know, let me get my mind right. Because if I can get my mind right, everything else will fall in line. Everything else will get right. Because when your mind, your mental is all off balance and out of whack, your life seems the same way because it's the way you think. So control your thoughts. Get your thoughts together. Because once your thoughts are together, everything else just seems like, okay, all right, cool. But when you screwed up here, everything in your life, it seems screwed up. And let me just say this too. We all have a mental illness. Some people just too ashamed to say it. But if you have it, we all have a form of mental illness, okay? It's different forms. But if you are an overthinker, that's a mental illness. And I know I'm an overthinker. I overthink a lot about everything. It can be the smallest thing. Like anything, literally. What shoes I'm going to wear, I'm going to overthink because I don't know if this, just anything. We all have a mental illness. Let's win this battle. If you are placing pity on yourself by, speaking down to yourself every day, whether it's out loud or in your head, or just simply what you feel about yourself. If it's not positive, then, why do y'all be so butthurt when people, say something negative about you? Because you're not even on your own side. A lot of times we're not our own friend. And that's why I tell people every day, be nice to yourself. Be kind to you. Because how you treat yourself, other people gonna treat you the same way. When you do wrong, you become vulnerable. Especially if you're the type of person to feel everything. See, I feel everything. So if I do something wrong, I'm very vulnerable. Very vulnerable. And you can get vulnerable to the point where the devil will seep his way in and he'll start placing doubt and guilt inside of you, to where you would feel like you're not forgiven. You even be scared to go around people, or scared to even, speak to certain people because of something that you've done. When you need to understand that once God forgive you, all is good, all is new. And if people on this earth can't forgive you, who cares? Who cares? Because the way I see it is, I used to care so much about what people did and thought about me, and, how they viewed me. But it's, like I said, this year has been a year. It took me, a minute to see that, look, I don't even care because you can't put me in hell. The biggest flex I would say that I can talk about and speak about is my mind. I spent this year getting my mind together. I ain't where I want to be. Nah, I always feel like every time I get through something, I feel like I got to do something else. I never feel like I'm just done. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like you can ever be done just working on yourself. Working on yourself is a 365, 24-hour, job. You just never get done. But I would say my biggest flex is getting my mind together. Mentally, I'm not where I used to be now. Whoa. It takes somebody to really know me before now to know that mentally I'm on steroids. I was really a regret victim. I was really inside of regret, and it's like I was in a dungeon, locked away with all of my regrets surrounding me. That's where I was at the beginning of this year. Because I know that my life is not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. And I know I've done things to people. I know I've said things to people. I know I've hurt myself. I know I've hurt God. I know that I'm imperfect. So it's kind of like, how can I be perfect? But see, when you get thirsty to be perfect, just sit down. Because at that point, you just crazy. Like, for real, I literally had to train myself. Not being funny. I literally had to train myself because my regret got so bad to where I started to hate myself. Every time, because I thought about it so much. I thought about everything I did wrong, and I began to hate myself behind that. And then the more I hate myself, I started to feel like everybody hated me. I started to feel like what I saw in myself, everybody else saw. So it's kind of like, okay, I don't got nobody out here. I ain't got myself because I really hate me. And then I feel like they hate me too. So like, what I'm going to do? Now what? God said, wake up. No. You made a mistake, but that mistake is not who you are. Dust yourself off and try again. In the words of Aaliyah, R.I.P. Forgive yourself. You owe that to you. You have to be careful about the people that you have around you in your life, because a lot of people that was in that season was just for that season. They not supposed to see the new you. They're not supposed to see the, be on that road to redemption with you. They're not supposed to be watching you turn from a caterpillar to a butterfly. They're not supposed to see that. And this is how you will know when they're not supposed to see it, because they don't want to. They're not gonna want to see that. They don't want to see you fly. They want to see you in a jar, looking ugly. Along with your regret, make sure you let the people go that is fulfilling your regret. When I say fulfilling, I'm talking about the people that won't let it go. They keep bringing it up. They keep talking about it. They want to keep on adding on to it. They want to keep reminding you of it. Let them go. Because what they there for? You've been renewed. You've been forgiven. You're trying to do better. You're trying to do new things. You're trying to, now it's time to move. All right, you've been sad too long. You done cried too long. You done beg God for forgiveness. You done beg people to forgive you for too long. Like, how long are you going to do that? For years? For the rest of your life? You got the power. The power's in your hands. Who you going to give it to? Change the locks on the door and go get a new key made. And don't give them a spare key. Let people go. Let the regret go. Move on. I said that. Move on. You are beautiful. You are more than a conqueror. You're a fighter. You're a winner. You're not just a fighter. You are a winner. You have won the battle. And why have you won the battle? Because God is fighting for you. He's fighting with you. So the battle is already won. In the meantime, between time, while God is fighting that battle, you need to be doing the behind the scene work. You need behind the stage while God is, listen, you need to be doing the behind, because it's a teamwork, make the dream work. God is fighting your battle. Now it's time for you to do the behind the scene work. And that's what? Deleting things, deleting people, deleting situations, deleting your regrets. Because how you expect God to forgive you and you can't even forgive yourself? Come on, man. It's logic. It's mental. Life is mental. Think better. Do better. Think better. Do better. Live better. And when you do all that, you smile better. Ting. Period.
Facing the mirror.